monster under the shed. It was a moonlit night, and the engines were waiting to go home. The Fat Controller had cancelled all the trains because of the foggy weather. Edward and Stepney waited for the line to be safe. They were beginning to grow bored. "Maybe you should tell a story to pass the time," suggested Stepney. "All right, I have a good story in mind," said Edward. Long ago, there once was a brave little engine, always eager to help. "Blue Engine," asked the station master one night, "would you go to the end of the line to pick up a goods train?" "Yes, sir," he said, and he puffed away. But the weather changed. The fog came down. He puffed into an old shed for the night just to be safe. He woke up in the middle of the night to a noise coming from below the shed. Creak! The little engine opened his eyes and saw long fingers reaching for him through the floorboards. It was a horrifying sight. Terrified, the little engine raced away with the monster chasing him. "Then what happened?" cried Stepney. "No one knows. That's where the story ends," ended Edward ominously. Just then the station master came up. "It's safe to puff back now. Good night, you two," he said. The two engines whistled and puffed to their sheds. When his crew left him, Stepney was alone in his shed. Suddenly, he heard a strange scratching noise. "What's that noise?" He was spooked by it, so he stayed up for the rest of the night just to be safe. The next morning, Stepney arrived with his passenger train very tired. Edward couldn't help but notice. "You look exhausted, Stepney. Do you want me to do your work?" "No thanks, Edward," said Stepney with a yawn. "I'm fine." Ugh. But he did feel very silly for staying up all night. He was behind schedule with his passenger trains too, which made the passengers very cross. That night, a big fireworks show was happening. Stepney didn't care for the fireworks. He was too tired and huffed back to his shed. When he was back in his shed, the noises began again. Stepney shut his eyes tight. "Please stop," he ordered. Then the noises turned into a growling noise. It repeated many times. "It's just outside the door." The shed doors shuddered, and Stepney waited for it to stop. Then, all of a sudden, the noises stopped. He opened one eye and screamed. There was the horrible creature. "Somebody save me from the monster," he wailed, and shut his eyes tight. His driver heard the noise and came to check on him. "Don't be afraid," laughed his driver. "There's nothing to be afraid of." Stepney opened his eyes, and there, sitting in front of him, was a cat. "I was afraid of a cat." His crew laughed, and so did Stepney. "You've quite the imagination, Stepney." "Yes, indeed. It's the only thing that can turn a kitty cat into a big scary monster,"